Starting 3, 2, 1. Okay. So there is a pretty big delay between what happens and what I do, but at least it seems like it's working at this point.
Yeah, that's natural. Gotta process the video.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got a new link. Doesn't look like it was the same one, but let's see if I can get this over here. I'm almost scared to try and test it at this point. It's just gonna link me back. It's like it's one video behind everything we've done. Keeps trying to link what was already done.
Link a video of us saying, "Why isn't this working?"
Over and over and over again. Alright, so here's this. I will send it to you now. Again, as soon as this boots up for the third time.
What's it bleed?
Alright. So maybe that link is the right one, maybe it isn't. I don't know at this point.
Okay, look. Okay. It looks live.
It looks what? It looks
to
live?
be live.
Okay. Alright, well if that's the case, then
Test. I said you may want to copy and paste a new chat.
well that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I deleted the last one though.
What the hell?
And that was browser, yes, okay. Okay. Alright, so there's that, there's this. 500 by 900, okay. No. It's
already typoed for YouTube. So as soon as you give me the link, I will. As soon as you're live, I'll throw it in there, smash that send button, and then head to Twitter and inform people.
Yeah. Why didn't it? Oh, that's why. You know, if I put in the right right URL and not what I just did, I might be able to make this work a little bit better. Okay.
Working. Let me know when you want me to send another message to test the chat box.
There we go. I think, yeah, I just got your test in there, so I just need to put this novel.
Oh, novel's in the.
I see that. Yes. Hold on, we're trying to figure this crap out at the moment. Just give me one more minute here.
How do you find this?
Probably because he subscribes to me on YouTube.
Oh.
It's live to all my subscribers, so.
Oh, it is live? Sweet.
Yeah, no, I put it live. I'm just really showcasing I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. Hey, there. Okay, so that's actually working.
Listen up.
And the chat box is there. Yeah. All right. Good to go. Yeah.
Ready to rock?
Yes, I think so.
Well, bam. Yeah. I'll just this here, bam, and send out my subscriber. So we'll get some people.
Cool. All right.
And we'll weed it.
What? Oh. My phone just went off saying, "Hey, listen, you got a new Twitter message." I wonder who's that from. Okay. Alright, so sorry we're getting off to a little bit of a late start, guys. It's just ran into some tech issues because, as you well know, I've never really done a stream quite like this before. Certainly not a live stream or anything remotely close to this, really. So the purpose of this was to just kind of replace a how-to video, or not how-to, but a descriptive video of the SNESBox Go. And so essentially all we're going to be doing the first part of this video, Shank included, who is kind enough to help moderate and get me started on this, because like I said, it's nothing that I've done before. I'm just going to kind of go over the system and see how it goes. And yes, we are working on a bit of a delay too, as far as how we're talking and everything, so it'll take us a little bit of time to get used to that. But yeah, Shank, I know you wanted to say something, so please go for it.
Oh yeah, I was say ask some questions. So what made you make this portal?
Well, I've been interested in doing a Super Nintendo portable for a very long time. In fact, the original board that's housed in this I bought at least 5 years ago with this very purpose in mind. But you know, life and things like that get in the way, and I didn't really have a chance to revisit it until, I don't know, 5-6 months ago at this point. So yeah, but it obviously took a little bit more of a turn when I decided to use one of the SD2 SNES flash cards in here.
Oh man, those SD2 SNES flash are so good.
Yeah, the compatibility on them is great. The firmware is always getting better from what I've seen, and now that it can play SA1 games, like the biggest example is Mario RPG. It doesn't play perfectly yet.
I was impressed when they got the Super FX chip working on that.
Yeah, they did, and it was a good improvement. But you know, like I said, to me, the Mario RPG was probably one of my favorite games of the SNES, or the later part of the SNES era. And when the new I think it's 1.9 firmware came out, it just really was great, but it does still have its issues, unfortunately, with freezing up, and with an RPG game where you can only save it at certain parts, that can be somewhat frustrating, but at least it can still play it.
He's working on he's got this.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely something they'll be working out in the future, I'm sure, but you know, this is brand new within the past few months that it's been able to do this, so.
Sweet. So what kind of side? How's your video? What's your audio video?
I kind of cut out there. What, my audio video, what?
What's your audio video for this portable?
My audio vid? Sorry, hold on a second. I might have to get some headphones. Alright, one more time.
Audio video for the portable, is it like composite, RGB, what kind of amp?
It's composite, but because it was the SNES Junior motherboard in here, it had one of the best encoder chips that they put in at the time.
Sweet.
Right, and it just I I've got no problems with it whatsoever, and you know, honestly, with my experience with using VGA with this size screen with that low native resolution to begin with, pretty much everything is just you know, it gets really pixelated, and
yeah, on such a small screen, that makes such diminishing returns.
yeah, and I mean, it's not a bad thing by any means, but you know, and the color is really sharp and nice, but
No, you can get good video out of composite. TV2 was composite video, and I got lots of people saying, like, "How'd you do that video? Like, how does it look good?" It's smaller, it's like make it look better.
mm-hmm. So yeah, and it was the easiest to incorporate anyway, and on top of the fact too, where it's got the breakout box with the just standard composite AV out for RCA, it makes its compatibility with older TVs a lot easier to come by. And we did hook it up to a relatively modern TV, and it was kind of strange how certain games would look a lot worse than others, but you know, for the most part, it suited the purpose.
So how's the battery life on it?
It's honestly, haven't really killed it yet. I've played it for about 2 or 3 hours straight. No, actually, yeah, 2.5, 3 hours straight at one point, and it still didn't die. But it's not really surprising. I've got 2 5,000 milliamp batteries in there, and the original SNES really didn't take that much. Didn't have a huge draw to begin with, and I think the screen actually draws more than the. I'm sorry.
Does it even need an active cooling system on it?
No, I don't even have heat sinks in this thing.
Wow.
I know. Talking to anybody who knows about heat being an issue, I think it's you.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Really.
Sorry, like I said, still getting used to my whole setup here. Just kicked my tripod. Anyone who doesn't like getting seasick, turn away in a few minutes. But
I'll say, yeah, we want to hear what you have to say.
What?
And hit us with some questions. All 6 of you. We want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, I'm showing 7.
Oh, 7?
Yeah, but it's probably counting me, so who knows? But yeah, there's like I said, guys, there's gonna be a little bit of a up and down here because I've never done something like this before with as much complexity as this one took to get running. So it's something that I might enjoy doing in the future. Should we iron out these little kinks?
All right. What about charging? Does it charge through a standard lithium battery charger, or does it have built-in charging circuitry? Does it work?
Well, it's actually got a custom battery charging circuit in there, which allows it to take a standard 12-volt power supply at 3 amps or greater, with just the standard. I don't know if it's size N or size M, but you know, it's the basic. I think it's 5.5 millimeter jack. So you can use any one of them and not have to worry about blowing up the system.
That's much more convenient.
Yeah, it's, you know, just this little brick that has got this, you know, standard jack on the end of it, and you just plug it in the top right now, and you can both play and charge at the same time. It won't. It's got enough juice to feed absolutely everything, which is why we went with the 3 amp version. And it does get warm when it's charging, but that charger's the piece inside that gets the hottest out of the whole thing.
I can imagine. My portable, the one video on. The board gets hot whenever I'm charging and playing at the same time.
Yeah. And it's not even when they're doing both at the same time. It's just until the battery gets up to voltage. So the lower the voltage is in the battery, the hotter the chip is going to be because it's working that much harder to charge it up. So it's kind of like on a sliding scale, and it will cool off as it gets more full.
Wait, so the question everyone is going to have who's going back and watching this video later is this unit for sale? Are you making more of it?
Right now it's not, and I don't have any intentions on building any more, especially right now because the amount of money that went into building this one is, far more than I'd even really feel comfortable charging anybody. I mean, yeah, my N64 portables would go at a premium, but they still took me quite a lot of time to build, but not nearly as much as in components as this one is. I mean, the problem is everything's original hardware, and the SNES Juniors are now at least $100 on eBay to find a good used one, if that. Even the broken ones are still going for more than they're worth. And the flash card in there is around $200 on its own. And
I definitely feel you there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a SNES Junior setup with RGB and all that stuff right now, so I feel the burn.
Yeah, and so it's just when you compare this to the fact that you can get a Raspberry Pi 3 now for $45-50, and the rest of the components for maybe another $150-200. Now this is not a practical mod or system by any stretch of the imagination. And also, Buzz saying, and also the enclosure was the most complicated one that I've ever built because it utilizes both the FDM printing and the SLA printing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the buttons are all SLA 3D printed. I don't know if I can get it close enough and clear enough that you could see, but that actually says start and select right on the button. And the R and L buttons up top are SLA printed too, in some sort of complex fashion. They say R and L right on them as well. And then the back of the system. What's that?
Send him to Mad Morta, have her cast them.
Yeah. Yeah. But then there's the decals and the logos. That's all SLA printed. And I originally had the idea of backlighting that, but that didn't work out too well. But and yeah, those speaker covers too are SLA 3D printed as well, just they're painted.
What's your finishing method? Do you use like a whole bunch of? Do you use a lot of just a whole bunch of wet sanding, or do you do what's your getting the lines out of the through?
Well, it's a combination of that. It's mostly sorry, Novel, I'm not going to MGC this year. We'll touch on that in a little bit. No, the methods are pretty much what I've always been using with the standard epoxy resins and stuff like that, and then the finishing, wet sanding, and everything. But the SLA printed parts, you don't really have that type of need, so they're just directly
beautiful straight off the bed.
Yeah, for the most part, yep. Yeah, I mean, you do have to do some type of finishing to get off the supports and the the scaffolding and stuff like that.
I do want to say, for anyone who's interested in getting into making tools, Downing made a great guide on case making. that covers like ever.
Well, that appreciate that too, but understand that's also 6, 8 years old, and that was before I even got into CNC machining, which has long since gone by the wayside to 3D printing. So
True.
But
it's great.
It's a great base point.
For those without access to some of the higher end equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good starting point anyway, and it gets the process down. That's kind of the whole deal behind that. And you know, I definitely do need to update that to implement, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Update it for the new types of fabrication methods. And now that things are getting so cheap, and the designing and the 3D modeling is getting a lot easier for a lot of people, and it's definitely something that's going to take over, I think, as far as this hobby is concerned.
Oh yeah, it's all 3D printing and custom circuit boards now. That's the game.
Yep. And that was just the thing. I actually just had an interview from the site US Gamer, and at some point that'll be going live, but they were asking the same sort of questions about how the process is and how things work, and it's the ability now to really design from the inside out has been probably the biggest changing factor in this whole thing. And that.
All right. You got a question from Eunice. Humby, he says, if someone is interested in making portables, where would one start? Right now, I'd say start on the BitBuild 4.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that. There's not really a whole lot of places as active as BitBuild is anymore. And
read all the guides.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like the info is out there and has been out there. And it's just a matter of really diving in and doing your research ahead of time, because it's going to make things a lot easier for a lot of people, including yourself, just to kind of do the research up front.
Yeah. Secret to making a good portable, lots of research.
Yeah.
No, personally, when I started, I didn't know anything. He said, do you need any experience with electronics or building electronics?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like when I first started this, I had zero. I didn't even know how to solder. It was just something that was picked up from the get-go, and I think if I had to say, the soldering is probably the tipping point where you're really going to commit to learning how to do this, or you're just going to say, I don't feel comfortable with it, and kind of move on from there. So if you can get over that hurdle, I think it's really the catalyst that will get you into opening up a whole new thing, a whole new can of worms, and then really being able to build from there and expand the skill set into not only electronics but case making and things like that. And you're going to have your strengths. It's going to take you one way or the other. But unless you're G-Man, who I don't know how he does it.
So with flash card hardwired in, does that eliminate Super Game Boy playability?
Super Game Boy playability? It shouldn't affect anything. Now you got me questioning though, because I've never.
SNES doesn't. The SD to SNES doesn't support Game Boy Player. Doesn't have a cartridge slot.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, it's like I'm curious about that. It's I don't know if technically it would, but in this case, physically it does. But it doesn't affect the Nintendo at all, because the Nintendo's exactly the same way. I guess essentially, if you're going to use the SD2 NES to begin with, yeah, you're going to eliminate it.
Yeah. And word on the street is the Pro may have that, but that's.
Well, I don't know how it could. I mean, you you can't physically plug, you know, 2 cartridges into it. You need, you know what I mean? Because the SD.
Yeah, he said it would load for ROMs.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha.
But it's to go. It's possible with the new FPGA, but gotta wait. It's not ready yet.
Yeah.
One of the things that and were the 2 real-time saves with audios were the 2 features of the upcoming Pro.
Okay.
But other than that, the thing
Yeah, I mean I like too also that it's got the that was it, the MU1. What? Sorry, terminology is terrible. It's an audio benefit to the SD2 SNES where it allows actual like CD quality audio to be overlaid into certain games, and you know they had a demo of it where they were listening to F-Zero with true electric guitars and everything in there playing in the background for the theme music, and it just sounded incredible. And it's also very homebrew accessible too. So if you wanted to make your own games for the Super Nintendo and have a platform to play them on, this one allows you to do that because it's essentially, you know, just a ROM dump.
And the SG2 SNES is like the flash card out there, so it doesn't get any better.
No, it's definitely the top of the line as far as the Super Nintendo versions go, and I mean similar like the EverDrive or the 64 drive, which are both very comparable units. You know, they're definitely right at the top. Hey, G-Man showed up. What's up, buddy? We were just talking about you. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of where it's at, and you know, as far as the portable systems go and everything, I absolutely love how this one came out, you know, from the ground up and all the features it's got in it, and it's
Oh yeah, you don't see many SNES portables today.
No, and I mean what you do see is in a Raspberry Pi, you know, but yeah. I get it. It makes all the sense in the world because no one's gonna want to drop almost $800 in components and then have to build the freaking thing all by yourself from the ground up just to, you know, play some retro Super Mario or whatever.
But it's so beautiful.
Yes, yes. It's so pretty. I love it. But but yeah, it's again. What else you want to know about it? Yeah, technically speaking.
Let's see. What are it's using the standard, the 5-inch Dalian, right?
Yeah.
The 640 by 480s.
Yeah.
Those are great screens.
Yeah, they are. They're expensive as all hell, and I mean the driver board that I have to use for it too, because the TAC board is also custom, and it allows you to take away that TAC board that comes with the screen and just integrates it right into this.
Yeah. I had to handle.
Can it hold up to Cheese's Tetris playing? I'm gonna say yes, but you know that's not been tested. But this thing has gotten more hours of play than anything that I've built before. So, but yeah, I think he'd probably be more or less disappointed with the fact that it's just using TAC switches on the bottom, and you know this might not be able to keep up to his speed, though physically it could keep up with him.
I don't think any portable can keep up with Cheese's speed.
Yeah, he wore the paint off the N64 I brought to MGC last year, that was for sure.
Jeez. What a legend.
Prodigy legend. abomination. I don't know what the best word is for it. I mean, he's got it. Clicky. What? Gee, man, come on. Clicky. I don't use clicky for anything except for the tack switches, the tack board switches. They're the only ones that use clicky.
So you use a microcontroller for the controller, or did you use a real SNES controller chip?
No, actually, that's custom too. It just uses two, was it 4021 shift registers? That's all it originally used, and then some pull-up resistors. And that was all put on a 1x1 circuit board that RDC did up for me. Combination of gray and orange. But yeah. Yeah, Xbox One, I've never even played an Xbox One, so I really don't care. But where was it? No, it's in the other room. But yeah, they've got these just like 1-inch 1-inch boards from Osh Park. So that very simple actually, and it saved quite a bit of room and hassle of trying to cut down one, even though it's extremely basic compared to what you guys deal with.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
It does. Well, got the job done 25, 30 years ago and should still work today.
Oh, G-Man wants to know, when are you making a Wii?
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a time issue at this point, and however much I'd love to do it, it's a lot more complex than I really feel comfortable devoting the time to. I mean, it may be something that I can do when, you know, the rest of this hair's gone gray, but you know, until then, there's a lot of the crap that needs to take place, and you know, this I know 100 hours, which it did probably take to design and everything like that to finish off, sounds like a, you know, okay, there's your time that you need to do it, but that took over 4 months to get to that point. Maybe two hours a night, and I think to kind of dive into the level that you guys do with this weed trimming and everything, that how far you guys have progressed, it'd take a lot more than 2 hours a night to even get on a plane where I could remember what I thought or remember what I learned.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, it's easy to drop a box, but it's refining it that takes all the time.
Yeah.
Right, and polish.
Well, just the technical side of things, really. You know, that's the hardest part, is you know, making something that's going to be reliable and all based off of something that you've never done before. And
Well, how much did you trim the board down?
I didn't.
Oh, it's
the full board is in here, not even touched. The only thing I changed on the only thing I took off the boards were the connectors and the 7805 regulator, and I switched that with the custom power PTH regulator, because it's switchable and it's a lot more efficient.
You get any noise on the composite line?
No, I got nothing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's a very clean, and the like I said, there's a custom battery charger in there, as well as the custom regulator, and all those are equipped with noise filtering caps on them. So I mean, that definitely helps a lot.
Awesome. Just the 100 microfarads, or did you
Yeah.
some other?
Well, on that, I don't know what he put on the charger board, but there was some noise reduction embedded into that as well.
You gonna do a write-up on this on BitBuild?
Probably. like I said, I didn't really do a full work log as I went on this. Just took some pictures and stuff as as big things were happening. So I could do a write up at some point, but
G-Man wants to see some gameplay.
Yes, he
doesn't
does.
believe a word. He's calling you a fraud.
Yeah, well, that sounds like him. But, well, let me just do a little quick overview of the system here and what it's got for features, because, I mean, it's not going to take very long, but, it obviously all the standard buttons, start, select, two 28mm Mylar speakers, the custom tack board underneath, the 5.3-inch 4:3 aspect ratio screen. No, not 5.3-inch, 5-inch 4.3 aspect ratio. There we go. Vent on the top, because all the power components are pretty much in line right here on the back, so they all vent out into one place. An LED which is hardwired to the SD2 SNES in its ready mode. Obviously the SD2 SNES with the SD card just sits right in there, and then the USB for debugging and all that other stuff. And on the back there's the SNESBox Go logo, the sponsored in part by Stone Age Gamer, and my also product of Downing's Basement tag. On the bottom there's the headphone jack that goes to the custom audio amp, and then the USB 3.0 output, which connects directly to the breakout box, so then you could connect to second player if you wanted, and then connect to the TV output, all in one box. And yeah, the finish came out decent, still not as great as I would like it to, and also I gotta remember that when I'm using flathead screws, that if I screw it in there after the clear coat's been put on, you're gonna rip pretty much everything that was in that hole and immediately around it right out. So there's actually a lot of whiteout around every screw hole, because it was just a quick touch-up. Oh, and then on the back here, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but these ridges right here were also SLA 3D printed, and then just set in with glue and then epoxied around and sanded, which was a pain in the ass, and I will never do that again. But alright, so you turn it on, it's just a single switch, turns everything on. This is a reset button too. I know that different versions of the firmware of this will allow you to use save states, which is really cool, but this version, this 1.9 I think is what I'm running right now, does not. There is, yes, you can get into the menu, system information, okay, firmware 1.9, and a whole bunch of other blah 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 stuff. Configuration, you can set the time, you can set all sorts of other stuff which I haven't even dived into because I haven't had any reason to. But I've got two directories with my ROMs in there. I got the main ROMs with the games that I play all the time, and then a set of ROMs that is pretty much every game ever made in every region, all in one spot. Hence the reason why I made something that I will actually play. And then we get all the great games like Donkey Kong, Doom, Earthbound, Mario RPG, Mega Man X, which was one of those chip games that, not the SA1, it's been able to play for a while, but I'll go into it. But everything is very responsive. It does everything that I could ever want it to do. And I've noticed that some games with the ROM encoding, like the controls are slightly different than the original. As my brother had pointed out when he was playing it last weekend, that Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. You have to actually lift up and push a different button to change to the direction you're running. I don't know if that was originally how it was like, but he swore up and down that it wasn't years ago. So he's the only one that ever played that too. So I'm gonna assume that he's right. And Mario Kart, the original Mario Kart's kind of glitchy. What's that?
I bet it's less glitchy than running on high emulator though.
Yeah, it definitely probably is. But again, it's like all this stuff they're still working out. SimCity, Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox is on here. It's cool too because there is an option in this though that allows you to overclock Super FX chip games, so that Star Fox, Stunt Race, and other games like that will run at a much higher rate of speed.
Oh, really?
Yep. Probably one of my
uncommon antics is give me portable Wii.
Okay. Ask one of these other guys.
Novel says, looks great, seems to play well.
Yes. Yes, it does. And I understand that a lot of people watching this are probably a good 10-15 years younger than I am. Oh, show Star Fox overclocked. Okay. Well, it'll take me just a second here. Let me... So it's a menu option. You go into System Configuration, Chip Options, and the Super FX Speed, Fast, Normal. There's Fast and Normal. So
someone has requested Star Fox overclocked, please.
That's what I've just been doing.
Sorry, my stream's behind.
Yeah, I get you, sorry. Alright, so you just have to go into the menu, you have to start it like that, and right now it's set to fast, so I know that there's going to be comparisons between how fast you think it should run versus normal, but where are we here? Star Fox, here we go. But you can definitely tell it's a lot faster. And as nice as that sounds, it also makes it a lot harder to play though. Woo! It does, though, affect the sound, too, though. That's kind of the bummer part of it. I apologize, because I'm going to suck at this. Whoops. Come on. Yeah, I saw you and I missed you. Whatever. Because this is a lot faster than I'm used to playing this. Oh, don't get in front of my gun, you dumb bastard. Oh, oh. All else fails, kamikaze. Alright, but there you go. So that's how that worked. Now what else we got? What do you want to see? There's a 99.9% chance that I've got it.
Let's see if anyone. There's a bit of a latency, so we'll see if anyone.
Donkey Kong Country 2. One of my favorites. No. I remember the Christmas 1995 when I opened this package, or opened this present, and this game was there. It was, you know, having played the other one for a little while, and then seeing all the Nintendo Power reviews and everything that, all the hype that built up around this game, and it was probably one of the first times that I was super excited and absolutely blown away, higher than expectation. And granted, you kids were probably not even born at that point. I was already 10, 12 years old, 13 years old.
I was, but I was like 8 months old.
Yeah.
I wasn't 17 yet.
Yeah. That was one of the questions they asked on USA Gamer too, was like, or US Gamer, was like, what got you into it? And I couldn't lie, I had to tell them that my first console was an Atari 2600.
You know, Mo that says, you kids, how old are you?
I told you I was pushing 40, would you believe it?
Downing looks still a teenager, right, Downing?
Yeah, that's nice of you. Like I said about the hair going gray, though, it's happening faster than I would really care for. Whoops.
Meanwhile, I'm 23 and I still get carded for dry erase markers.
Yeah, but you still look 14. That's the big difference. You still there? Or did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. All right. What else you guys want to know?
We get we peaked. We're at 11 people watching right now.
Oh, nice.
Ask some questions. Ask for some game.
36, so shank respect your elders.
Might be.
Alright, well then he knows exactly what I'm talking about, so
Alright.
Thanks, buddy. Alright, now what? This is kind of fun. I like doing this.
Games. Ask some questions, guys. Yeah. There's reveal.
Yeah, kind of strange. I wonder if this is showing Whoops, what did I do? Ah! Come back. There we go. Now, as we said, the only ones that have trouble working now with the new firmware is just like the SA1 games, but like Super Mario RPG. It still works, and it works flawlessly when it's going, but if you try to save it, or like try and switch in the menus in RPG, so to speak, it can freeze. I've only hand soldered. I did at one point attempt to do paste, and yeah, that's the reason I haven't attempted to do it again.
Have you tried stencils yet?
Same thing, yeah.
Oh, well, stencils are magic.
They very well may be. I'm not a magician. I can't make magic work.
Come to either an MGC or a Schenk and how to stencil. Here, just GMAT will drive over to you and drive you to your basement and show you how to work stencil.
Well, he knows where I'm at. He's been here before. But yeah, no, Texas is a little bit of a drive for me. Yeah, I could. I had this set up actually before for a screen share. I think I've still got everything in place, but I'd probably lose my chat box if I tried doing that. Although I'd have to do it. Actually, I don't know. I could try. I might lose you guys for a second, but I could try. Let's see what happens.
Talk about an OBS as a different layout.
What's that?
Do you have it as a different preset in OBS?
Yes, I do. But
yeah, if you just click from one preset to another, it'll change without the screen going down or anything.
No, I know it, but I'm just wondering if the link in that particular sources file is the same.
Here we go.
Yep, ship. Yep, that's exactly what I feared was going to happen. Okay, you're going to hear a little bit of an echo here in a second. Hold on.
Okay, so that is now on.
All right, let me.
Well, that's blurry as hell.
Ah, okay. Crap.
That's getting better. Slightly better.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
It'll get better. Okay. So this.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Why do I keep exiting out of Discord? Jesus.
I'm gonna delete that. Delete. Go away. Yes, delete. Goodbye. All right, now let's go back to where I need to be. Come on. Okay. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully. Looks better. You still there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's why I didn't want to try that.
I didn't see it.
Oh.
Take your word for it.
You didn't see all that downtime there just a minute ago?
Nope. I peeked off at a different tab.
Okay. Well, then let me see if I can do this then. This might work. Let me just minimize this and that. Get this up here. And then we'll... This is going to be a little crude, sorry, but we'll see if it actually works. Okay. 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 Alright, so let me just resize this to away, and I'll just delete it when we're done. Okay, so do this, do Oops. Do that. No, come on. I want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. That's what I want to do. Okay. It might seem a little stretch and whatnot, but let me just get into it now. Alright, so full body assembly, where are we? I'm sure I actually did a full body assembly on this one. Oh, yes I did, there it is. Okay, it's an old one, but alright. Yes. So what do you specifically want to know about
Alright, G-Man, he did this for you.
Alright. Yeah, because essentially it's the basic starting points that I do. And why that's upside down, I don't know. This has been rebuilt several times, so this is pulling in different models from that have been edited and changed, and when I was in the printing process.
You can make the top and bottom clear and show the internal assembly.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be a whole lot to really see, but if I make the entire case clear, there's no just top and bottom in this anyway, it's like several different parts, but you can kind of see the inside and how all the power and the juice and all that stuff was in the back part of this enclosure, and in the top was the system, and then, or on the back top was the system.
You're telling me you didn't model all of your wires?
Yeah, no, I didn't quite put that much effort forth. But, you know, all the, there's the rough models. That's the rough model of the battery, not the battery, the custom regulator, and this is the battery and the charging circuit. Yeah, he generated step files. Sorry, I'm reading it at the same time you're getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he generates the step files. I think he uses dip trace, and you can just take the model and everything, and it'll take its stock models and give it to you. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. And then, you know, you got your. This was like a 3D model that I downloaded off of GitHub or something like that, and all these I did from the ground up, all these parts, but a lot of these parts, the D-pad and things like that, were all existing files because I've pretty much accumulated a huge library of parts that I've done in the past, and it just makes designing so much quicker with newer models if you use similar parts.
Yeah, you just build up resources over time.
Yep. And this one down here is the custom controller board. It's all just inserted in there. I'm really wondering why that back cover is upside down. It's not supposed to be that way.
So you think he'll do an NES version of them?
No, probably not. If anything, I'll go back up the other way and start putting EverDrives in my N64s, which I've got a couple people interested in commissioning one, so that may very well be the next project. Aside from the controller project I'm doing for my son right now.
Oh. I haven't heard about that.
I haven't said anything about it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a it's a miniature.
Subscribe to Downing for more. To hear more about the future.
Well, this is the only place you're going to see this right now, anyway. I mean, this is a custom 3D printed miniature N64 controller because my son is very much into playing N64 right now.
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, you probably did. I made a post or something about it. Not anything specific, but this was just supposed to be a quick, weekend mod, and 4 weeks later, I'm still not even into putting the friggin' pieces in place yet. I don't have a problem with quality or anything.
That's how it is. Yeah, well, I was like, I'm gonna make a Wii laptop. I'm just gonna take a Wii, on it. And here I am 4 years later. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Yeah, G-Man, it is Form 2 printed. It does look expensive, but then when you realize the iterations I've gone through, 1, 2, back and forth, 3, and several other ones, considering there's probably about 300 milliliters of resin between these parts that I'm never going to use at $175 a liter. You can do the math and realize that, yeah, this is stupid. But, at the same time too, the resin does have a shelf life, and this liter was pretty much brand new when I got it 7 months ago, and so I'm just now really trying to burn through it before it goes bad.
Oh, in that case, hey, you should print some stuff for me.
You're
just gonna burn it through. You're just gonna. I've got some giant stuff you could.
Yeah, I'm sure I could, but the thing is like in between these and a few of the buttons I printed, each one of these.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
you're doing hands out, use of resin.
Well, each one of these pieces was a minimum 12-hour build time on top of all this. 12 hours to print each one of these, and some of them, that granted, I started reprinting them again at the 0.05 millimeter resolution.
The question, how well does 3D printing hold up? And when you went to print to fit in the case, are the adjustments made by hand, or is printing accurate?
Depends on the method. If I'm doing SLA, right here, I don't know how well you can see that. I'm actually going to get out of SolidWorks right now because this other camera's better for this.
There's two types of printing. FDM is the standard stuff where it's like, basically like a big plastic hot glue gun on a CNC that moves around and draws stuff. And then there's SLA, which uses a light projection, and that one gives you much smoother prints. It's a lot more expensive.
Yes, it is. But the flip side of it is that the detail you can get out of it is incredible. This is a cap that I built for those really tiny, the ones that people could never find. For these, I glued this one on, so I'm not getting that off, but the really tiny full potentiometer, not the slide sticks, but it takes up about the same footprint. And this cap, I modeled off that because no one could find these, and it was just perfect. It matched. Let me see, I can't. This thing doesn't autofocus, so it's, you get the idea though. All the way to the stick mount on the inside the tube is the same. And everything's in reverse, so I'm trying to do this like I'm left-handed.
I imagine SLA printing combined with, and once you get your piece precise and casting it would just...
Well, yeah, it'd be great. This would be great for a mold making process too. I mean, you could definitely do some good silicone mods with these. But I mean, I kind of would want to get into. They actually make resins now that you can do short run injection molds with. It's like, are you kidding me?
Ooh.
I mean, obviously you need the you need like a hand tabletop bench assembly injection molder, which they do make for like $2,000 or something. But yeah, I mean, being able to do that and not have to mill anything out.
GN asks, why didn't you print them on the Mark IIs first?
Well, because the design that I've got built into these with the raised up panels, as well as having screw posts and standoffs and mounting brackets all built in on that side, you can't lay it flat on the table. So the only way to actually print it with the detail and quality that you want is to put it on the SLA. Because I mean, you can't really see it too well in here, but this whole C section is raised up, and the N64 logo is printed right into that.
Asks, you model the cap? You use the real one for reference? Asking about those sticks you modeled earlier.
Yeah, I use the real one for reference, yeah. It's close. I mean, it's not perfect one-to-one, because, I mean, when you're measuring curves and domes and stuff like that, redesigning that in CAD is, for me anyway, fairly difficult.
Organic geometry.
Yeah. I don't mind geometry. I was good at geometry. But
when you get the organic stuff, like curves within curves, like
yeah,
control, that's hard to model.
Yep, it is. But so anyway, yeah, this controller's, you know, gonna be a labor of love, and I hope he appreciates it and doesn't smash it on the floor like he does his other ones. But it's also going to include the new mini V3 version that has built-in FRAM on the back of it, so that you don't need to wire up a control pack to save games or anything.
Sweet.
Yep. So that's nice. I like that. A lot less soldering. Alright, so that's there, that's there, that's there. Hey, Joe. Oh, Joe, you've been watching for a while. I haven't said hi yet. Oh, well, that's the benefit of live streaming and it being recorded. It's just been me talking for the most part, Joe, so don't worry, you haven't missed much. But speaking of sons, I did build this for him a while ago. That came out really good. I mean, I didn't build it or design it. It was just a model on Thingiverse that I printed, but son absolutely loved it because he was into Star Fox at the time. Thinking my son is really just an excuse for me to try fun stuff that I would have wanted when I was his age. But alright, what's next? Or are we gonna wrap this up?
I don't know. You guys have any more questions?
It wasn't on my desk. I brought it down specifically for this.
Sure you did.
Yeah. I meant to bring down the other one upstairs that's got the broken wing. The failed print that I just took a soldering iron to, and it looked like a Star Fox broke his wing off. It's kind of nice. But in any case, I'll get this. Yes, it's got a ton of cleanup. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing it more often now that I've got an idea of what's actually involved in making something that looks somewhat decent. I mean, this dual stream thing, or not dual stream, but dual screen thing is really cool. You know, it allows you to get some different angles and a little bit more content on the screen at one time. Yeah, he is to an extent, but he doesn't quite grasp the whole concept of it. He he actually takes this off of my desk every time he comes down and says, "Daddy, I'm gonna go plug this in and play it, okay?" It's like, buddy, it's not gonna work. It's like, oh, okay, well, bring it when done. So he's highly anticipating that.
What's next portable you think you're gonna do? Got anything in the pipeline you want to tease?
Again, no, not really specific. I do have one that I really can't say anything about right now because it's really just in the process. But if it does go through, it'll be nice to have been associated with it. Well, whenever you guys...
Part 2 when?
Hmm?
Downing's basement. When?
Oh, well, you know, the door's always open when you guys can make it. The problem that I have is I can't make it anywhere because I'm pretty much tied down with a ball and chain for the most part.
You need to better sort your guests' audio. I barely change. Rip.
Oh. Yeah, I know. The way we're doing it isn't the right way. Like I said, this is something completely new to me, and he's actually being streamed through my cell phone via Discord, plugged into my computer, which is then going to OBS, which is then being streamed to YouTube. So I'm honestly surprised you can even hear him at all. We'll take our small victories here.
It's more duct tape.
Yeah. It's modding, you know. This is how we do things. Get the hot glue and we'll make it work.
We'll make it work. Going with duct tape.
Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. Someone hears G-Man's on here and they start hacking the feed.
Man, is that G-Man? Oh, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, G-Man.
The G-Man.
Hey, G-Man. Finish up your...
I don't do whiskey.
Portable PS2. Please.
Hey, can you build me a Pee-wee pocket?
I'm gonna start. Anytime people ask, I'm just gonna send them. Go ask down and he'll make you.
No, don't you dare! Oh my God.
I'll make another video.
Yeah. That'll give you all the traffic you could ever need.
He'll make you one for $150. Go ask down and.
And we will never speak again.
With the Pee-wee.
Oh yeah, thank you. There you go. That's the best way to make me feel better.
The one.
Man. Holy crap. I'm not getting tired, but this has been a lot of fun. It'd be interesting to watch, you know, in a day or so and realize just like, wow, you said all that stuff and half of it didn't make sense, but you thought you knew what you were talking about. Get a glass of whiskey next time. Whiskey? I don't drink whiskey. Surprised I haven't left my desk in an hour and a half to get another drink, though.
We need G-Man, what's Downing, G-Man, and Ben Heck to do the beer modding stream.
Yeah, Ben Heck stole my beer. Yeah, he stole the beer I bought for him. Yeah, yeah. That I had a lot of fun there, though. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. Just it sucked that the weather on Sunday was so terrible.
Downing LG man though.
No, that would be an epic stream. Yeah, yeah. It would be one that I'm sure would get more hilarious as the time went on.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. It reminds me of they did a bit built drunk stream on St. a few years ago where Shucks and Aurelio just like got smacked.
Why wasn't I invited to that one?
I don't know. It was a lot, and that was when Aurelio they made a joke about we need to find a leprechaun St. Patrick, and that's when he found the leprechaun with the pizza there, and he found that while searching Google Images, while he completely plastered, and he's like, I like this image. I'm gonna use this for now, and that's the origins of
of Aurelio's avatar.
With a pizza.
Nice. Huh. All right. Cool. Well, I guess if I've got most of the questions answered, I mean, I knew this was going to be a small stream, but that's fine. I actually enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun to be able to read the comments and answer the questions. That said, though, too, if there's something else you want to see, or those of you who say you want me to stream a little bit more often, that's fine. But what do you want out of it? Because essentially, if I'm working on a project or something like that, it's going to be a lot of just a whole lot of me talking in the background while working. So, unless there's something specific, I'm glad to cater.
What we did when we did the stream for when G-Man and Mad Morta came to visit, we had 2 people modding, and then we had 1 person reading comments and things out. So
yeah.
You get you modding, and then for me or G-Man, hop in and read comments and questions. Can stay focused on modding. That might work.
Yeah. Either or, again, it's a very new venture for me, and now seeing that I can actually get something of quality out there instead of just a cell phone on a tripod, might this is just the first rough run through and the backgrounds and layouts and everything like that. 6 hours ago, well, I won't say that now. 12 hours ago, I didn't even have this installed, so this is something new and it's working pretty well. I like it. But all right. So is that it, or does anyone want to see anything else played on the system before it's boxed up and shipped to Ohio? Well, that processing time takes forever. Either that, no one's answering anyway. No, I'm down to 6 people to watch it. How long has this been going on anyway? Hour and 20 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, still alive. Okay. Well,
yeah, basically he went through and he explained most of he showed some models of the inside, showed some gameplay, he showed that it worked via FX chip, and it works overclock FX chip too. A lot of the capabilities of the SDU2 SNES. He showed how it charges and how he made one.
this is kind
it
of
does support having a right for that USB 3 port at the bottom.
Yeah, that's just a connector though.
Yeah, it's not. It's USB connect, but it's not like full USB.
Right. Yeah, it's not wired to the standard, so don't ever plug a USB 3 into that and expect it to work. This is kind of obligatory. Oh, I forgot I did this too. I named Link D-Man.
You do. D-Man.
But I haven't really even played it. But that works, and then... I completely forgot I did that too. That's so funny.
Funny. D-Man and G-Man.
Yes, we do.
It works very well with Super Epic Check.
This
It uses the A2 SNES, which is like the best flash card for SNES out there.
And this is the example right here of the SA1 issue. And it only seems to happen with Mario RPG, where it will freeze when it's opening up the menu. Or I found that if it runs over time and you do several resets, it will actually run perfectly. But until it gets like, I'd almost want to say until it almost gets warmed up, it will crash on you. But, you know, that could be something to do with the ROM, too.
Warmer. Maybe you gotta run it like a real, like a real SNES cartridge.
Yeah. If that works now, I'm gonna be impressed. Let's see. But if I were to play like Mega Man X or something like this for a little while, it would get past even the boot screen, because this is strange that it's not even getting past that right now. Alright. Try it again. I mean, I've gotten to level... Nope. Oh, it's no flaw. That's been discovered anyway. It's been well known. But let me just try this, because usually this gets around it. If I play... Oops. Mega Man X for a minute. Oh yeah, and those are volume control, screen mode, and then over here just the other screen options. Ouch. Alright, so let's try this now. Nope. Well, okay, well, that kind of sucks. I assure you that it has worked in the past. I've put more hours on this system using that game than anything else. But, now apparently it wants to be camera shy. But whatever. It just freezes. It just, when the menu tries to pop up in either the save or game menu, it does that. Yeah, you missed it. Composite. Sorry, buddy. I brought you here to moderate, and I'm doing it all myself. I should stop.
No, it's alright. I'm just trying to help.
No, I know, and that's good. And now I'm kind of bummed though, because I really wanted to play this tonight. Now it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Gotta talk real nicely to it.
Alright. Well, let's try your theory. I mean, everything else has failed. You're so pretty. You gonna work if I ask you to? I don't think that sounded very convincing. Let's just let it set for a second. Maybe if it goes into its play mode where it does a demo of the game a little bit, it might let me jump in on the background. Or if it's just going to play the intro again. Yeah, it is. Oh no. Something's not right. It's only happened to me 1,000 times before. What could it be? Yeah. Alright, let's see if it works. There we go. Yep, so I got to level 10. 2 stars. I'm in Moleville right now. But this is the thing, like every time you jump on that save and that menu pops up, there's a chance it's not going to be able to save your game, it's going to freeze. And that sucks, because it makes you, any progress that you make, potentially, is going to go unfounded, because yes, I've seen this scene about 4 times by now.
I've never played Super Mario RPG.
Really?
Really?
Well, that whole thing about us being old type thing, coming around again.
Yeah.
The save states don't work on this particular firmware version. I wish it did, then I wouldn't have these issues.
Do you update with an SD card, or do you need to reflash?
No, you can update it with the SD card. They'll just,
Okay, good.
yeah, you just use the same SD card that everything else is in there. What the hell?
Google Translate. I got a question in another language.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I got a held for review. A whole bunch of smiley faces. But, again, I suggest you, if you got time, to sit down and play this one for a little bit, because it's a lot of fun.
Noted. Once I get my SNES set up, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I'm not too into RPGs. I played Pokemon, and that was fun.
Yeah. I got into Pokemon and the original Game Boy versions when they first came out, but didn't really get much further into it after that.
I went hardcore on Generation 3. Hey, be chill.
What is he doing here? Yeah. Oh, look, I got the power. What is this? Oh, I can... Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Alright, buddy. Yeah.
You made him a moderator.
Yeah, I pushed the wrong button. I wanted to do this so that you could take care of it.
So you made him a moderator, not me.
I fixed it.
And
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's got to go.
use a timeout.
Thank you.
You made him a moderator. GG, dude.
Yeah, that's something I would do. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah. If you start skimming, maybe he'll make you a moderator.
Yep. Yep, that's how it goes. Oh, man. Oh, this could get really fun as the night goes on, but no. My kids are going to be up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, whether I want them to be or not. I'm all by myself, so I got to deal with it. I got to figure out how to quote this. So if I guess I start trolling, I rise the ranks too.
Question for you, Johnny. Do you regret making Wii Portable?
Do I regret making a Wii Portable or not making one?
The Ouya.
Oh, no, actually, I honestly liked that. To be all honest with you, I did. It granted in the later ends it kind of sucked, but you know the emulation and the pinballs games and stuff like that on it I loved. I actually got 90% done with a version 2 that was a lot smaller. It had some really fancy electronics, RGB stuff for lighting, and it never saw the light of day because they ended up, you know, going defunct, and that's kind of how it happened. And it sucked though too because we put a lot of effort into that one, but you know, that's the way it is.
Yeah, I was scrolling through my feed on YouTube and that showed up, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was kind of cool that the you know, when we did the crossplane years ago, that was the first one we actually were able to just plug in and run both the crossplane and the Ouya just by plugging everything together. You know, it was, you know, fully portable that way. It's pretty neat, and so obviously that's what got the idea started, and then went and made the other one. Yeah, no sleeping in. They've been right. Their room is right above where I am right now, so they're probably just like, Dad, why haven't you shut the hell up yet?
Yeah. And here I am. I'm in a house with like 3 other roommates, so we're like nocturnal.
Yeah, well, that will change eventually, I assure you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never really been nocturnal, as you can tell. But even back in the day, you know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning was pushing it for me.
Oh no, primetime modding hours for me is 2 to 5 a.m.
Yeah, no, that
1 to 5 a.m.
wouldn't have worked. No, not at all.
Maximum modding capability.
Yeah, that's Nope. Nope. Not for me. Wouldn't work that way ever. But to each their own. I just can't imagine waking up at noontime and thinking that you didn't get enough sleep.
It happens.
Yes, yes it does. But yes, well, I was a musician too for many, many years, and that still wasn't it. Ugh. Yeah, I even put out a CD years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I need to hear Downing's CD.
Well, I've got 700 of them sitting in the room right next to me, so you're welcome to one.
Yeah, I'll take one. I'll use it as backing track for one of my videos.
Yeah, well. If it will work that way, it's all acoustic rock, acoustic type stuff. Yeah, Gunner's got one. He knows exactly what I was talking about. He saw the box of CDs in the side room that's taller than he was at the time. Yeah. It is actually on iTunes still, I think.
Oh, it's still on iTunes? It'll be worth someday.
Yeah, thanks. It'll be worth using it to prop up your frickin' sofa.
You should make a portableizer band. Portableizers.
Your practice area was an old freezer? Oh, you mean like one of the big walk-in ones? Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I can't, what's it called? I can't play at night because my amp is a tube amp. You want a tube amp, so for it to sound good, I have to basically
warm it up.
I have to serenade my neighbor.
Oh. Let's see. This was my old beauty from years ago. I've had this thing almost 18 years. Probably still out of tune. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. All of mine are electric. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, it's out of tune. It's been so cold here and hot and cold, it's, you know, the neck and everything's a little warped. But yeah, it's nice. But then again, I'm getting into something that's far off topic from what I should have started with.
Guitar Hero Portable. Dude, what if someone made a Guitar Hero Portable?
Ooh.
Like a little clip on screen.
I used to have a couple of those guitars just hanging around.
Yeah, you could throw the whole like system inside the guitar. I'll write that down.
That would be neat, and then you could use like a little tuner like mount or something on the head, and then just use, and then you could use the buttons, the guitar buttons as, you know, the controls or something.
You know, audio. All right, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna do that. They're so like my like shitpost portables I have like to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say that would fit right in with that. Huh.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna do that. That would be so dumb. Things new enough for the Inspir. It would be like on a little snart, and then you could plug in your headphone. Be a weirdo in public. It'd be so great.
Nice. Alright guys, well I think I gotta call it. Mostly because I'm sure I'm just gonna go and watch this over again once it uploads. But I don't know, I had a good time, and anything else that you guys want to see, you know, you can leave a comment or let me know what you'd like to see next time, because no, I'm definitely game for doing more of these. These are a lot of fun. But if you got anything else to say, Shank, then I think we'll say adieu. See you, man. G-man. Oh, Nuno, you're killing me. I love it.
Is the stream down or is it?
No, it's still up. I haven't put it down yet. I'm just waiting for the last people to say good night, and the yeah, never forget Eddie Martinez, the troll moderator. Oh, love it. Love it, love it. Alright, well, I'm gonna take it down now, so we will see you guys before too long. Have a good night.